in the classical section, and whoever wins this game becomes the world champion, replacing Magnus Carlsen. 6.5 for both players. Ding Liren has white. I got nothing else to say. Buckle up. Here we go. Ding, throughout this match, has played either d4 or c4, and he has avoided main lines. Well, this game, and whoever has played white in this match has had the upper hand, except for one game. Ding does, in fact, play the move pawn to d4. Jan responds the same way he has responded now for 2 world championship matches. And after d4, knight f6, c4, e6, Ding plays knight c3. This is the second time in this match that he has played knight c3, allowing a Nimso Indian. The last time he played the Nimso was very, very wild line. This is also the third time in this match this specific move order was chosen. You'll remember that in one of the early games, Jan played d4 and then Ding played d5 on move 3. So we have a Nimso, we have the move e3, we have castles, and in the last game that they played, where Ding played a Nimso Indian, which is one of the most complex openings in chess, in this position he played the move a3, and sometime later he played knight e2, knight here, and played rook a2. And that was the day of the massive prep league. That was the day that it was discovered that 2 anonymous accounts had been training together on both major chess websites. Ding the pawn, then always be able to do this, which in and of itself is an advantage. Black plays the move d5, a very principled response, and now Ding is like, excuse me, take my knight. And Jan is like, no, because that's why you put your bishop there, now I'm gonna go back, all right? Now you may ask yourself, why would he move a piece 2 times? Why doesn't he go forward? Well, if you don't have a good reason, don't trade a bishop for a knight. In this case, Black no longer has a good reason, because it's not damaging anybody's pawns. And Black is able to afford playing these 2 moves, because White developed in a pretty weird way. The bishop on d2 now doesn't really fulfill its journey. Kind of like in House of the Dragon, right? You gotta, the descendant is trying to go here and evolve. Well, this person is not going anywhere, so now the bishop is just sort of stuck. So, knight f3, and Jan plays c5. The best friend of the d pawn is the c pawn. And as you can see, in queen's pawn positions, we have a cube. Very quickly, the cube it gets completely obliterated. Pawn takes, bishop takes, takes. And knight bd7, and Black will probably try to develop this bishop out this way. And we have rook d1, centralizing the rook. Now, you'll notice that Ding is down a lot on the clock. That's kind of weird. I don't know why he spent 13 minutes on this move. I think he's sort of just trying to improvise. I mean, it's still the opening, and it's a relatively innocuous position, so don't really know why. Again, like, I am a little bit perplexed why that is happening. But, such is life. Rook d1, and now Jan, for the second time in this game, goes bishop e7. So Jan has made 11 moves, and 4 of them have been with his bishop. Bishop b4, bishop e7, bishop back out to c5, bishop e7, like a slinky, Bing! Wow, or is that a slingshot? All right, whatever, both. They're fun. Slinkies are the things you used to put on the stairs. I'm a 1995 kid, all right? That's what I did in my childhood. In and out of watching, like, Dragon Tales or whatever. Knight g5 here is a very aggressive move. And in this position, Ding decides, I don't want to go, quietly into that good knight. And instead, I'm going to play the move knight to g5. And I want to checkmate my opponent, because that decides the game. Now, probably he's not going to play queen h7. Some of you might play that move. He won't play that move. But the real question about knight g5 is, what the heck are you going to do about the move h6? Like, I've just done a few chess lessons with Frank. You don't know who Frank is? Learn who Frank is. He's a rapidly growing chess prodigy. And I told Frank to stop making these random knight moves when they can be attacked. Well, Ding plays h4. Ding plays what is known as a fish hook. Fish bait, whatever you want to call it, fishing pole. Point is, Black has castled, White hasn't, and if you take this, you lose. I mean, you just lose. You don't move your knight and get mated in one move, but the pressure here is too strong on the file. It's actually a very, very useful idea. Knight g5, h6. For beginners and intermediates, I mean, this is basically like game over. I mean, once you play h4, the other person will just malfunction. But Jan is 27.95. And he plays the move queen c7. Now, of course, he did spend some time. Queen c7 actually is the best response. Basically ignoring this like a crazy person on a New York City subway. And queen here hits the bishop. And basically just continues to develop and ask questions to White's position. Now, Ding here spends a little bit of time, and by a little bit of time, I mean 22 minutes. And it's not that he spent 22 minutes realizing his bishop was hanging. The bishop move has massive consequences, and by going to e2, I mean, he's basically completely taking his eye off this pawn. Because you understand, he could have also went to b3, but probably he did not like something over here, and I mean, he can sacrifice his right to castle, but Black has to trade a few pieces, and then at some point he will be able to take this knight. So bishop e2, and Jan is much better. He's up 40 minutes on the clock with Black. This is nuts. I mean, Ding was supposed to be the one playing for a win. Not supposed to, but he's white. All right, he's playing with the white pieces. White has had massive success in this match, and it seems like the pressure is simply getting to him. Now, here the best move was b6, apparently. And then you're trying to get the bishop out, and if something like rook c1, the best move is queen b8. I feel like if you play b6, queen b8, they gotta scan you or something. I don't even understand this stuff. Jan plays rook d8, bringing a rook to the center of the board. Absolutely nothing wrong with this move. And now rook c1, and now knight f8. All right, knight f8, you know what they say. Knight f8, never mate. Nobody's ever getting mated on the h7 square. And by the way, now taking on g5 could very well be a threat. For instance, before take, you have backup, so you can move the other knight. So we have knight e4, knight takes e4, knight e4, and a trade. And there looks to be an end in sight. All right, this setup did not work by Ding, and we're headed for a draw. And if this game ends in a draw, it's going to be 7-7, and then we're going to take a break, and tomorrow we are going to play tie breaks, and a classical world championship match will be decided by speed chess, just like everybody wanted. I am joking, but at the same time, you do need a way to break a tie. In I believe it was 84, Karpov-Kasparov went 3 months. I don't think we want a match that goes 3 months. I mean, I would make tremendous ad revenue on it, but yeah, that match was first to 6 wins, and nobody won 6 games. It was deleted, basically. The match was interrupted. So somebody has to break the tie, and it looks like that's where we're headed. Bishop d7. Why am I saying that? Well, the eval says it, so it must be true. They have 2 rooks, they have knight, bishop, bishop, they have the exact same material, they have the exact same pawns, A, B, F, G, H, I mean, it's gonna, you know. And then here, something weird happens. Ding plays bishop b4. Now, there is nothing really weird about that move. It's just the bishop trade. But he's damaging his own pawns. I mean, he did not have to do that. He could have played bishop c3. And bishop c6, and bishop f3, and I don't know, knight here, c1, brought it, but clearly Ding was disturbed by the fact that he thinks Black is probably getting active too quickly. Knight g6, not knight g5, so he goes here, and Jan grimaced when he saw this move. He sat down and was like, what? Take, and bishop c6, and Jan is better. Jan is better, and he's up 27 minutes. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. And it gets worse. It gets worse. Knight c5 played by Ding Liren in this position, sacrificing a pawn. Just giving it up completely. Could he have done anything else? He could have played passively. Could have went here. Knight g6, he could have tried to get this kind of an endgame. Now, knight e5 attacks the pawn, king e2. Instead, Ding is just unraveling. I mean, he's sacrificing a pawn in an otherwise balanced endgame-ish position. This is wild. Rook to g1, and in this position, Jan needs to choose between these 2 moves. It's more accurate to go here. Why? Because after the move b5, he comes back. And after the move e4, he doesn't move his bishop anywhere. He plays b6. A very important Zwischenzug. You take the bishop, they take, and it's actually Black who emerges up a pawn with White having 3 massive pawn islands. You can count this as a double island if you want. Knight e6 is coming and Black is playing for a win. You put Magnus here with Black, he wins 99 games out of 100, and that 100 game, I don't know, he fell asleep at the board. I mean, this is a very, very bad endgame. So Jan has to find the right retreat of his bishop. He has to go bishop c6, inducing b5, and then this. Jan doesn't. In fact, look at how much time Jan spent. 58 minutes on the clock. He doesn't notice the subtle difference, and the difference with this move order is after e4, ain't nobody going b6, because this pawn is not on b5. So after take, I don't have a pawn here. I can just do this. There's a massive difference, but he has an hour on the clock. The nerves are in the stratosphere. What's beyond that? I don't even know. Something. I just make chess videos. Any of you study the layers of the atom? I had to learn that in school, then I forgot, just like everything else. Bishop c6, though. Now there is no b6. This trick does not work. And Jan's bishop is booted out of the position. Now, Jan is still doing fine. And Ding collects the pawn. He gave the pawn. He gets it back. And now Jan does something absolutely fascinating. So, in this position, Black can play rook d7, attacking the knight. But Jan plays this, inducing the move rook c4, offering a trade and simultaneously defending the pawn, and then he goes here. What the heck is the difference? This is how chess grandmasters think. This position is the right way to do this. Why? Because if you do this with the white rook 2 squares back, then after the move knight to c5 and rook to c7, there is a pin and the rook is way further back, right? So the rook for white is way further back, but the knight can still be supported, okay? That's number one. But the craziest detail here is the fact that if the knight goes out this way, Black will mobilize and come here. That's the threat. And there is rook g4 protecting that. However, if Black plays the move rook d4 first, then after this, nobody can go here because knight g6, rook g4, there is a fork. By inducing white to play the rook forward, you have now removed the option to bring the rook to g4. This is some giga brain stuff, all right? That is why Jan played rook to d4 first, so that his opponent plays a rook move, and then he attacks the knight, and now the knight can go here. So in this position, Ding plays this instead. Incredible. All right, rook c7. Ding drops back with the rook, and now he's enabled the movement of his knight.
You need something?
And now disaster strikes.
See you later.
Rook c8 played by Jan. Ding defends his knight. In this position, Ding had a miracle defensive move, by the way. He could have put the knight back on b7. He could have gotten out of danger by using the fact that that rook is hanging against Jan. And then after rook c3, bc3, white goes king d2, and suddenly is going to quickly win that pawn back. He doesn't see that. He plays here, knight d7.
Enough rage.
Oh god. Ding Liren is at his biggest disadvantage of the game so far. Rook to g3. What Ding had to do in this position was bring his king, trade the pieces, and play rook b1 and defend his pawn. And he's down a pawn, but he's got activity and he's kind of okay. Will he hold this? I don't know. Instead, Ding goes for g7. Jan can play it cool here. He could just play g6. He doesn't even need to allow rook g7. But instead, Jan plays this. Take. Ding's idea is to get this, but the black king is just walking to e7. This is a massive oversight. Bishop d3 played by Ding. Not a bad move. Rook d8. And now, Ding has a choice. How can he defend this? He's got to probably do it with the king, okay? Now, king d2 is a little bit terrifying because you're walking into a pin. So, obviously, Ding, as a human, is like, I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to go king e2 instead. And just so you understand, defending like this is probably also possible. But Ding plays king e2. and essentially loses the game. Stockfish doesn't even realize because it's on a low depth, but after the move rook c3, black is winning. Black is winning. Why is black winning in this position? Because of the threat of taking the bishop. For example, if the rook comes back, black wins. Rook d3 takes bishop b5. Game over. You can defend the rook, but I'm gonna go take, 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 take. This is a winning endgame. 3 pawns, 4 pawns. My king runs over here. You go win this pawn. I win the rest of the pawns. Not only do I win the game, I win the world championship. This is nuts. Rook c3 and Jan Nepomniachtchi is winning. If we let Stockfish run a little bit more, you're gonna see it's like -3. The game is over. So check king e7 and Ding plays here. The game is over. Jan's gotta play rook b3. He cannot rush with this. If he rushes with that, I do this. This is not winning. We have the same amount of pawns. Rook b3 is the winning idea. Rook b4, rook b2, a lot of pressure, bishop b5. Jan's advantage here is -3, according to some of the most powerful computers. The computer will realize it. And the idea is essentially rook h8, rook d4, white can't move a piece. White is gonna have to give up the pawn on b5 completely, and white is probably going to lose. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. It's over. 21 minutes on the clock, and in this position, Jan Nepomniachtchi delivers the most fatal blow of the World Championship match, and he plays... He played e5. He played pawn to e5. He did not play rook b3 and rook d4. He didn't play any of that. He went e5. And all of a sudden, Dingley Ren counters with b6! This is incredible. b6 is a clearance sacrifice. It's a sacrifice where you utilize the square a piece used to stand on for a tactic. And the idea of the move pawn to b6, mind you, that is the only defensive resource left in this position. Pawn to b6, giving up the pawn to sacrifice the rook, rook e8, and discovered check with the bishop on the square that you just cleared. You give it up, rook c3, buckle down, let's go. Rook and 3 pawns, all symmetrical, EFH versus rook and 4, that's the only pawn. Black is still pushing for a win, but Ding thinks he can hold this position. Can he though? Can he hold this position? Or is Jan going to convert this? King d7. White's defensive idea. Black, what does black want? Push the pawn, put the rook behind the pawn, push the pawn, white's rook gets stuck here. That's winning, okay? So for example, a5, if you wait too long, look what happens. Black is completely winning. Why is black completely winning? Because this rook is hydraulic pressing this rook, if you will. And if white walks over to win this pawn, like let's say king c4, look, king b4, oh wow, you won this pawn, yay! Now they feast. So that's essentially the winning idea. What is Ding gonna do? With the king coming, he's gonna play rook f3. He's gonna bother the pawn on f7. Black is gonna have to defend the pawn, okay? And now white is gonna play rook c3, trying to infiltrate. And he does. King f6, rook c6, the king hides from checks. Now rook here. So defending the pawn from the back side, not allowing black to hydraulic press. So black comes down and also defends the pawn from the opposite side. But this is not an advantage. Now, next phase of the game, black is gonna try to bring the king over here, get rid of the rook, promote the pawn. Okay, here we go. King g3, pawn to h5, moving the pawn out of the way, and Jan is pushing the pawn forward, closer and closer. Look at Ding's time. 22 minutes spent on one king move. All right, rook a5, f6. That pawn is now 2 squares away from queening. Of course, Stockfish thinks this is a draw. Of course, it's easy to sit here and stare at it and go, duh. Let me turn this off real quick. You're all so clever. I'm so clever. Every commentator is so clever. It's just a draw. So defend the position. Rook a6, king f7. Black is bringing the king, and let it be known, you might be confused. Why was this not taken? Because rook e1, Pawn to a2, you could take my rook, I make a queen. You could stop my pawn, I'm still making the queen. This is winning, all right? This is probably winning. Probably winning. Why did I say the word probably? This is completely winning. Sometimes my mouth moves faster than my brain, all right? King e2, king e7, rook a1, king f7, rook a2. Why did I pause here? Look at Ding's time. 5 minutes up to 19. Why? Move 60. This is it. This is the final phase of the final game of the World Chess Championship 2014. Can Jan Nepomniachtchi win this endgame? Now Ding gets 30 seconds every time he makes a move, but he gets no more bonus time. King f3, there he goes. King d7, he's making a run for it. A calculated pawn sacrifice to deflect the rook. Rook a6, now rook b3, white's king is forced back, king c7. Jan Nepomniachtchi is on the verge of winning this endgame. Ding Liren has one move, and one move only. What am I talking about? Well, if Ding hangs out on the a file, king b7, rook here, I'm coming. King c6. You can, well, all right, so what? King b5. So what? The black king is gonna walk right here and escort the pawn. Okay, well, fine. I mean, I'll just bring my king. King f1 and I'll run over. Yep. All right, let's say you do that. King c6. All right, I'm bringing my king too. You're too slow. You don't understand. You could bring your king. Congrats. Who's gonna guard the pawns? Oh, that's easy. Who's gonna guard the pawns? The king is still coming in. White is on the verge of being completely lost. And Ding Liren plays the most clutch move of his entire chess career. F4! Completely and totally sacrificing a pawn in order to create a pass pawn of his own. Just the existence of his pawn now threatens everything in the black position because black does not have the luxury anymore of running the king forward. He still tries. King c6, check is given. King to b5, rook to a7. Now, in this position, if Jan makes a run for it, so does white. If he plays rook e3, e7, king to b3. Oh, wait, the black king made it. But the black king now has to hide in front of his own pawn. That's the point. And this is a draw. Ding Liren foresaw this position. And if king a1, white has the miracle defense, rook b3, sacrificing the rook to promote the pawn. And this, my friends, is just a draw. All the pawns will fall. Ding Liren sacrifices his f-pawn to create a pass pawn of his own. Not to push it, but to constantly threaten, like a lifted hand. The hand of fury. Like, if you mess with me, I'm coming down with this pawn. And Jan tries to move forward. He tries many, many different ways. Can he find a way? King e7 back. Rook e3. It doesn't matter. Ding Liren has found the defensive mechanism to save this game. Because now there is an orb around the black king. It makes no difference. Because king g2, king can't go anywhere. There it is. The pawns are traded. Rook takes f4. And in this position, game 14 was agreed to a draw, a 90 move, 6.5 hour affair. Nothing to choose between them. 7 for Jan Nepomniachtchi, 7 for Ding Liren. And tomorrow we play tie breaks to determine the next world chess champion. How do the tie breaks work? They play 4 games of 25-minute chess, a best of 4. If that is tied 2-2, they play 5 + 3 second blitz. If that's a tie, that goes on a second time. And if that's a tie, they play 3 + 2, just like on chess.com, until there is a winner. There is no Armageddon. There is no Armageddon. They play a blitz game until the end. I will see you all tomorrow when we will crown a new world champion of chess. Now get out of here. Welcome everybody to an amazing chess game that has not received a lot of attention here on YouTube. Garry Kasparov versus the world in the year 1999. This was a match that had taken place before, set up by MSN, where there's a bulletin board and a team of grandmasters like Etienne Bacro, there was Felikan, Irina Krush, and Elizabeth Patz, and
Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage. Not enough rage. Need more rage.
Let's watch the Riker Diablo 4 video. It's a long video. It's a big video. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go all the way through it. Riker apparently played the Diablo 4 endgame.
Let's
get it.
Hey folks, this is Riker, and I got to co-host the latest Diablo 4 developer live stream update. Blizzard invited me to come play the game for a few days.
Well, by the way, this guy fucking farmed. I don't know what happened, but this dude, he was speedrunning the entire live stream. They said it was going to be 90 minutes. This dude made it like 75.
Talk to devs, and then co-host the stream and ask some questions, shed some insight into my experiences. Adam Fletcher would typically host these updates, so I was there to be the relief. I was there to be the Riker to Adam's Picard. So in this video, I'm going to talk about that, my experiences with playing the game. So as I dive now into that, what's it like to play Diablo 4 Endgame? I'm just gonna say that this video will be more conversational, more live stream like, a little less edited than my regular videos, less edited, less produced.
I actually prefer those because I find them more interesting.
Scripted than my regular videos. So first off, I was given a suite of endgame characters to play. I got to play every class. The characters they had set up for me ranged in level from 45 to 75. And jumping in, the first thing that I wanted to do was take that level 45 rogue and go do the capstone dungeon. So to clarify, you finish the campaign. After that point, you can unlock the full suite of endgame content via completing your first capstone dungeon. That's
So I guess like completing your capstone dungeon is kind of like in PoE, it's killing Katava in Act 10. Right? I mean, obviously Katava is probably a lot easier, but that's generally how it works.
Can't do that yet.
how you unlock
Or to
the
unlock maps.
third world tier nightmare. But this dungeon is level 50. The monsters will not scale down to your level.
I
So
fucking love that, by the way. I love the idea that there are these objective breakpoints. And if you can't beat it, you're not good enough, and you need to fucking get good. That's it.
I'm assuming they gave me a 45 character because maybe that's the level I could expect to be when I finish the campaign, and if I want to go dive straight into that capstone dungeon. I should say that the gear that I was given was the character was pretty well geared. Again, I was playing a rogue. It was my favorite class going into this whole event. There was a synergistic build put together, and as soon as I go into that capstone dungeon, I'm like, whoa, all right. This is significantly more challenging than I expected. It's taking long to kill monsters, and as I progressed my way through, I started to reach a point where I'm fighting these champion monsters, and they kicked my butt. I died, and like I said on the stream, I'm one of those
See, I'm really curious to see how hard this is actually going to be. Because I'm thinking, like, bro, I'm just going to go in there and one-shot this. It's going to be a joke. But maybe not. I am very curious about this. And I hope that they continue to have harder and harder versions of these capstones. But I hope that it doesn't go infinitely. I am not a fan of infinite content. I like it to where you can beat everything and you're better than everything. And then you just maximize being better than better.
I was saying veteran is too easy. Can we increase the challenge of veteran? My understanding is the capstone dungeon is intended to be reflective of nightmare difficulty. Now, what I should have done at that point, or what I should have done instantly, was realize, okay, I should go power up before tackling this. The game is telling me you're not good enough, but I treated it like it was Dark Souls. I really, really, really wanted to unlock nightmare difficulty, so
I think that's the way a lot of people would look at it. Now, I wanted to see, too, somebody says, not an attack, why do you have this opinion of Diablo 4 direction when you think it's better for WoW in-game to be more accessible? Well, the reason why is because World of Warcraft isn't an MMO. Diablo is more of an ARPG, it's more of a single-player game, so you can have more individual challenges that are still meaningful and compelling without having to dumb them down because you have dumb people in the group. I think that's number one. Number two is that I think that I've always been a fan of like really, really hard content. Things like remember what I was saying, how they have like legendary keys in Mythic Plus? I absolutely think you should have that kind of stuff. Also, I don't really think this capstone dungeon is going to be anywhere near as hard as he's making it out to be. Because if you can't beat it immediately, you're going to be able to just get better gear and then beat it easily after you get the better gear. Like, I don't think that if you farm out gear and you are prepared for this dungeon, I do not think it will be challenging. I think it will be hard for people that are trying to speedrun the game in the first couple of days, maybe the first week or so, but for average players, it will not be an issue. The same as Kitava.
Okay, 45, I should be able to do this if I muscle through. I rode the struggle bus for far too long. I died far too many times, but I made it past those elites.
And apparently there's a death cap, so you can't die too many times, or like you fail it.
On to... I don't want to give spoilers here. I'll just say there was a boss fight after that, and
yeah, sure.
I had to learn the mechanics.
That's awful. I'm so sorry.
Altogether, I had to go back. I had to do some upgrades. I changed my build a lot. I re-specialized a lot into single target damage. This was even before, just to handle the elites. I actually went back to town and I crafted, fully upgraded all of my gear. I didn't change the gear that I had, but I used the crafting system to upgrade the gear to its max to be able to put out enough damage to actually take down the boss fight. So overall, I would say that it's a gear check and a skill check. Now, I'm not a pro player.
I wonder how hard it really is. I want to see this combat. Like, what are we really talking about here?
Need something?
I am, I'd say maybe I'm above average. If you look at the grand scale of all players that play, sure, I'm above average, but I am nowhere near super skilled player.
Yeah, sure.
In the beta, I hardly died.
I would say
pretty
I'm
much only
probably
died against Ashava. Just to give you some ballpark of, I'm not total garbage, but I'm sure that there will be pro-level players that will be able to handle...
I mean, to be fair, also, pro-level players, this is an ARPG, like, what are we really talking about, pro-level players? But yeah, people that are very good at the game. Yeah, sure.
That encounter with either fewer deaths or no deaths, but again, if you're hardcore, I would not just waltz in casually. And I think that level difference as well really makes a difference. Because my next capstone dungeon experience, the second one, to unlock the highest difficulty tier, I believe that's at 75, I was the same level as the dungeon. And that one went so much better. Despite it being the higher tier capstone dungeon, I was of the correct level.
See, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, I don't think these are going to be, like... This is not going to be doing at Ziri on day one of a PoE league. This is not going to be trying to do Nax 40 with Molten Core gear. It's going to be fine.
The initial part, I'll say I breezed through, but then the boss fight, that was a big challenge again. I overcame it, but I died multiple times. Again, I needed to learn the boss mechanics to understand, okay, when am I getting one shot here? I had to change up my build a bit to be able to survive one shots. And by the way, the respecking, while I didn't do full respecs, I respec quite a bit. You generate gold rather rapidly.
Hey there.
Can you do full respecs constantly throughout the day? No, but you could afford to respec quite a bit. Even at level 75, I was respecking
Okay, so respecs are not going to be this oppressive bullshit. Thank God. That's very much a relief.
I was earning back the gold. It wasn't a big deal, but again, I wasn't doing full respecs. I was redoing some Paragon nodes. I think I respect the whole Paragon board. I changed up some skills, but I didn't completely alter my build. But yeah, I had to spec more into survivability to just sustain the fight. I had to learn to better play my build. That's another thing as well, right? I'm jumping in there with a build that I've not played before, so I'm learning how it works. I'm learning how the mechanics of the build work. I'm learning how the mechanics of the fight work. And again, I would almost advise a hardcore player, maybe just try softcore first, just to know what you're up against.
Well, I think most people that are hardcore players are going to be behind the curve because they can't take as many risks as softcore players. So, like, it's the same thing as whenever people killed Maven and, you know, Cirrus for the first time on hardcore. They had already seen kind of what the fight was.
I'm going to be super impressed with all you hardcore players who are going to, on your first go, survive all these fights. In general, things are well telegraphed, but it's a skill check. You're going to have split seconds to react to what you're seeing. And if you're not spec for survivability, there will be one-shots. At that point, I was playing a sorcerer, and I basically changed my build around to generate shields every time I used a cooldown, and I was timing my skills in cadence with the boss's attacks to ensure that I always had a shield up whenever one of his attacks were coming, because I had a lot of difficulty dodging some of the boss attacks. And again, if you're off by that fraction of a second, bam, it was enough damage to one-shot me if I didn't have my shield up. So again,
I do worry about that. There are some mechanics. It's like, you know that one boss in the stronghold that would shoot bats at you at melee range and like one-shot you if you weren't paying attention? I do feel like there are some mechanics, like Blizzard is one of the developers that values immersion more than gameplay. And I find that to be a bad thing. I think that there's nothing less immersive than a shitty mechanic or something that you can't really see very well. So hopefully that these mechanics that Riker is talking about will be very well telegraphed and easy to understand and see. I think Lost Ark is a great example of a game that can have incredibly difficult and very challenging mechanics, but simultaneously make them easy to see and easy to understand. Final Fantasy is another example. So we don't need to have, you know, black on black on black on black, right? Or gray on dark gray on light gray on black on white. You know, like let's make it easy to see so people know what to do.
I wiped against that boss multiple times, but it felt so good to overcome the challenge and then unlock that highest tier difficulty. I would say that the capstone is on average more difficult than the average content of that world tier. That is, if you're just out, you know, in the open world, it's not like everything there is going to be as challenging as the capstone.
Yeah, of course.
That was another reason that I was trying to really muscle through to unlock it, because better loot drops in the next world tier.
Oh,
and
yeah, exactly. I mean, this is just, that makes sense, right? You want to go as high as you can. That way, like, you know, as soon as you beat this challenge, then you can get all the other rewards that are a little bit easier. Sure.
Loot is then going to start powering you up more. Now, to clarify, you don't need to even do your first capstone dungeon to start doing endgame content. you just only get access to Nightmare.
I'm an imbecile.
Seriously, what were you thinking? You're an imbecile. Why is knight to f6 a bad move?
Take with pawn. I know I take that knight with.
Yep, you take with the pawn, but you took it with the bishop.
No way. No, I didn't. This is not me. No,
Yep.
I didn't do that. No.
Chess.com/Frank.
No.
And then you took with the pawn.
No way I did that. Oh my, what was I thinking? I'm an imbecile.
Seriously, what were you thinking? You're an imbecile. Why is knight to f6 a bad move?
Take with pawn. I know I take that knight with.
Yep, you take with the pawn, but you took it with the bishop.
No way. No, I didn't. This is not me. No,
Yep.
I didn't do that. No.
Chess.com/Frank.
No.
And then you took with
All night long, don't stop. Don't stop. Yo, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Bounce. All night long, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Bounce. All night long, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
All night long, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Bounce. All night long, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Bounce. All night long, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce. Yo, bounce, shake, move just a little and it fits your birthday groove on the rhythm that you rock and roll and rock all night long. Don't stop,
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce, shake, move just a little and it fits your birthday groove on the rhythm that you rock and roll and rock all night long. Don't stop,
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yo, bounce, bounce,
Don't stop.
yo, bounce, bounce. All night long, don't stop,
Don't stop.
yo, bounce,
Don't stop.
yo, bounce,
Don't stop. Don't stop.
bounce. Yo, bounce. All night long, don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce.
Yo, bounce.
Yo, bounce, shake, move just a little and it fits your birthday groove on the rhythm that you rock and rock all night long. Don't stop,
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce, shake, move just a little and it fits your birthday groove on the rhythm that you rock and rock all night long. Don't stop,
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yo, bounce, bounce, bounce.
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce, bounce. All night long, don't stop,
Don't stop.
Yo, bounce,
Don't stop.
yo, bounce,
Don't stop. Don't stop.
yo, bounce.
Rage.
Yes, that's right, children. Have your fun.
Not enough rage. Need more rage.
Yes, that's right, children. Have your fun.
Hold on, I got a woman and a kid 200 yards out, moving towards the convoy. Her arms aren't swinging, she's carrying something. Yeah, she's got a grenade, she's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid,
Too far away.
you got eyes on this? Can you confirm?
Negative. You know the ROV. Your call.
You're wrong. Send your ass to Leavenworth. Fuck, that was gnarly.
Hold on, I got a woman and a kid 200 yards out, moving towards the convoy. Her arms aren't swinging, she's carrying something. Yeah, she's got a grenade, she's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid,
You said woman and a kid?
you got eyes on this? Can you confirm?
Negative. You know the ROV. Your call.
Welcome to Dungeon Master Therapy. How can I help you today? I played D&D with little kids for the first time, and I'm never doing it again. Why did you play with little kids? My little cousin came over and asked if I could run a one-shot for him and his friends. Oh, well, what exactly happened? It was absolutely terrifying! How would little kids manage to make D&D terrifying? You know that as adults how we think before we act? Yeah? Yeah, well my cousin and his friends don't do that. They're unhinged. Okay, I get it, but like, how? Well, you see, it was actually a really easy quest. They just had to go on a quest to get an old lady a gallon of milk. How could they possibly make a quest about getting a gallon of milk terrifying? Have you ever seen Children of the Corn? It's been a while, but yeah. Yeah, well that's basically what happened. How the hell does getting milk lead to Children of the Corn? During their quest for milk, they ended up recruiting all the other kids in town and forced all the parents and the adults out of town so that way the kids could run the city. Did they at least get the old lady her milk? Oh yeah, they did. But they got her skim milk. Okay, why is that a problem? She wanted whole milk. Oh my god, they're monsters. Welcome to Dungeon Master Therapy. How can I help you today? I played D&D with little kids for the first time, and I'm never doing it again. Why did you play with little kids? My little cousin came over and asked if I could run a one-shot for him and—
So this is why Magnus Carlsen is the greatest of all time. Watching this game live, and Magnus has 2 seconds left on the clock. So what would you play here? If you play E8, it's a draw. Because rook takes C8, king takes C8, black queens, and insufficient material. So, what did he play to win this game? Well, with a fraction of a second, Magnus found this sequence. Knight C4, allowing black to queen, and then an amazing shocker move. Knight A3, brilliant move. Forcing the rook to take the knight, no longer guarding E8, and only now does white take the queen. Black takes, well black can't take as a queen, so black checks instead. Now, Magnus can't go to e-file because then it's a skewer, so he finds a way to make progress by zigzagging towards the rook, creeping up on him. And only now going to the e-file, no more checks. Bortnik tries again, and Magnus saves the rook and stops check. Bortnik tries again, and Magnus stops that with the safe move rook e3, and black finally resigned. So this is why Magnus Carlsen is the greatest of all time. Watching this game live, and Magnus was the only—
This is what Ash's starter Pokemon should have been instead of Pikachu. Look, I'm all for OG Pikachu, but it never made sense for Ash to receive one since no other region has had a 4th starter option, so bear with me. Since Ash is from Kanto, the Pokemon has to have some sort of Kanto connection. While Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle seemingly make sense, most trainers in the show don't have them, and Ash showed up late and they were already gone, suggesting that they are either first come first serve or that people with connections typically get them, so those 3 are out. That leaves us with 2 paths to a starter. 1, Ash catches a Pokemon himself, or 2, Ash receives one from someone he knows, much like how Brock received Onix from his father. Well, unfortunately, Ash's dad's a deadbeat, and his mom didn't have any Pokemon, so Ash's only option would have been to catch one himself. And which Pokemon did he catch first with no help from Pikachu? That's right, Caterpie. Ash's starter and Pokemon's official mascot should have been Caterpie all this time, and I love that. This is what Ash's starter Pokemon should have been instead of Pikachu. Look, I'm all for OG Pikachu, but it never...
Then, as if a light bulb went off in her head, she again mentioned her relationship with the owner as if it were going to give me an additional incentive to cut the bill in half, holding back a grin at this point.
Oh, God damn it!
What's going on?
Well, I was out exploring and something killed me. Now I've lost all of my stuff. Now I've got to go back and get it before it despawns or some other player loots it.
Yeah, but just maybe you shouldn't be taking so much stuff.
How else am I supposed to defend myself, Adam?
It's just that we're running really low on resources, so maybe just be a bit more conservative.
I'm getting my stuff back.
Ron, I think you just need to take a moment. No.
Come on, Adam.
I spent the last 3 play sessions getting all the materials for this.
Once I get all my stuff back, you can make 10 flame katanas.
No, Rowan, I just
And
can't
if I don't
give
get my stuff back, then I'm never playing this shitty game ever again.
Well, that's a bit extreme.
Gimme.
As long as you promise to look after it.
Great, thanks, Adam. Whoa. Oh, motherfucking sucking pizza!
No.
Oh, God!
What is an unspoken universal rule all males know? If a woman you don't know approaches you and acts like an old friend, play along. When I was 20, I was getting off the tube in London and got a really eerie sense about a guy. I was certain he was following me, but we were both exiting the station, so maybe I was just being paranoid. It was late around 11 p.m. The faster I walk, the faster he walks. I end up making a run for it at the top of the escalator. There are 2 dudes hanging around outside. I just launched myself at them. I grab one guy around the waist and loudly say, "Sorry I'm late, babe." He immediately plays along. "What took you so long? We've been waiting ages." The stalker guy stops and glares at the 3 of us. He looks furious but walks away. My pretend boyfriend also sensed evil. He was scared for me. Him and his mates walked with me and waited with me until I got a taxi. A week later, a woman was followed from that station late at night, dragged into a front garden, and viciously assaulted. We need pretend boyfriends. What is an unspoken universal rule all males know? If a woman you don't know approaches...
I'll stop at the video till we get someone dumber than. Gonna have to change the filter, because there's only one guy who can beat his stupidity, and that's Goku. Yep, no. Luffy believes Usopp's most blatant and obvious lies, so this might be impossible at this rate. Definitely not. Luffy's the same dude who also doesn't get thought bubbles in the manga because he just says his thoughts out loud. No. Please give me Goku. He's the only one who can save me from this. You know, there's an argument to be made. There's definitely an argument for Ace, but we're gonna let it slide. We're not gonna let the donut jokes infiltrate. Asta is dumb, not dumber than Luffy, unfortunately. Definitely not. No surprise, the video's about to end, so 2 to 3 more shots, Goku. Please clutch out. Okay. Somehow the filter changed, like, shapes. I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't do that. Bro, come on, bro. This is not that hard. Come on, Come on! Work with me. It's not that difficult. Please. Bro. Having a great time right now. This is amazing. Wow. I just don't know when to quit. Give me Goku. Oh! I'll stop at the video till we get someone.
Make a bear character in D&D 3.5. DM laughs. Make bear a rogue. Put every point I can into disguise. Prestige class is a spy to get more disguise. DM says I can't speak English. Max out bluff. By growling and gesturing, I can fake speaking a language I don't speak. English. Use money to hire a butler NPC. Give him a magical item to let him speak bear. An excellent suggestion, Mr. Barrington. We really should ask the group to investigate the Black Marsh. Over the course of the game, be knighted as Sir Barrington. Queen holds a dinner in my honor. A guest becomes the first man to ever make a perception check that can beat my disguise. Shouts out loud, "Hey, that's not a guy. He's just a bear." Man is escorted out of the castle while the guards apologize profusely for the indignity. "We're so sorry, Sir Barrington. Very sorry for this man's behavior." Make a bear character in D&D 3.5. DM laughs. Make bear a rogue. Put every point I can into disguise. Prestige class is a spy to get more disguise. DM says I can't speak English. Max out bluff.
She said super depressed.
She heard that birth control pills can make her feel better.
She wants birth control pills for her PMS.
I guess.
Judging by the redness around your mom's nostrils and the tissue she's got conveniently stashed in her wristband, I'd say her problem is more likely a URI than a PMS.
A URI?
Of a respiratory infection. Cold.
I don't think so.
I also think she's got a problem with SAC.
SAC?
Thanks for playing stupid American child. If you want the pill, All you have to do is to walk into any health clinic in Jersey alone and ask for it. What exactly was your plan? You're going to exchange the birth control pills for some over-the-counter decongestants so that your mom's cold lasts another 6 years?
No.
No, that's for your ovaries. She said super depressed.
She heard that birth control pills can make her feel.
Let's find the contradictions. Vosh is claimed to be an anarchist, a libertarian socialist. Anarchists are a form of libertarian socialist, so that's not contradictory. A postmodernist, not a postmodernist. I am a postmodernist. A market socialist, which is a type of libertarian socialism, if done properly, and, in my opinion, a transitional point towards anarchism. A revolutionary socialist. Yep, I've always been of the opinion that revolutionary action is the most reliable means towards socialism. A Keynesian. No? I've said that Keynesian economics are generally a good way of handling things within a market economy, and post-Keynesianism seems to improve upon the formulas here, but these are my advocacies for positions within a capitalist system. And then a Marxist, which I agree with many of the ideological tenets of Marx, so yeah. The funny thing is that this is trying to tell on me, but this was made by a person who's demonstrating not only an ignorance of my positions, but an ignorance of what these terms mean. They've just heard like a collection of labels. This is like saying, Vosh is claimed to be bi, pan, gay, queer, not straight. Let's find the contradictions. Vosh is claimed to be an anarchist, a libertarian.
Why is this guy nude? We're on Twitch. Put them clothes on, man. Nudist. Complete the hardcore challenge naked. What? Why is this guy nude? We're on Twitch. Put them clothes on, man. Nudist. Complete the hardcore challenge naked. What? Why is this guy nude? We're on Twitch. Put them clothes on, man. Nudist. Complete the hardcore challenge naked.
I need to get closer.
What? Why is this guy nude? We're on Twitch. Put them clothes on, man. Nudist. Complete the hardcore challenge naked. What? Why is this guy nude? We're on Twitch. Put them clothes on, man.
Not yet. There's bandits nearby. No, I'm pretty sure I killed them all. Not yet. There's bandits nearby. Where? Do you mean that guy way up the hill there? No. He's so far away, we can definitely just walk away. You need to kill all the bandits to set me free. Okay, fine. I need your aid! Help! Help! Okay, come on, let's go. Not yet. There's still bandits nearby. Yes, they're all dead. You need to kill all the bandits to set me free. Sorry, do you mean that guy way in the distance over there? I'm 100% positive he can't even hear me. Come on. Not yet. There's bandits nearby. Okay, fine. So, not yet. There's bandits nearby. There's not. That's the thing. There's actually not. You need to kill all the bandits to set me free. What are you talking about? This is a side quest. I don't even care. This is a side quest. Okay.
Starting with the mouth. What was that? What was that? Oh no. The Russian dancing.
Oh no.
Why do we even share the same brain cell when it comes to fucking yelling? Starting with the mouth. What was that? What was that? Oh no. The Russian dancing.
Oh no.
I am so upset that the things we did, the things we fought for, and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket. That's not what our boys, that's not what they died for.
It's too far away.
It's just not it. sorry. I'll be all right.
You need something?
I am so upset that the things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket. And that's not what our boys, that's not what they died for.
Have a good one.
I cut it just not it.
Tell me why Queen G5 is a blunder. Tell me why Queen G5 loses the game on the spot. It's 'cause this bishop is overloaded by protecting the queen and the pawn. But wait a second. Why don't I switch the move order? If this is a fork, why don't I fork first? I fork first. If he moves the queen, I'm not gonna take the bishop. There's a fork followed by another fork on F7. My opponent resigned and I won, and I got my 8th. I am Norm. That's how I got my I am Norm. Tell me why Queen. So if I do not find somebody soon.
Not enough rage.
You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say I want it that way. But we are two worlds apart. Can't reach to your heart when you say that I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heart. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Now I can see that we've fallen apart from the way that it used to be. Yeah, no matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire, the one desire. You are. Don't wanna hear you say nothing. Ain't nothing but a mistake. I
day to you.
언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아 견딜 수 없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여 I'm troubling you wanting it I'm so cold when I move that way you gon' be so blown I'm the realest in the game said I'm on fire with the blade you're about to hear my name ringing in your head like whoa so keep your eyes on me now 무엇을 보든 좋아할 거야 we so tough let's get it show you out can you feel the rush now ain't nobody bringing us down 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 they could try but we gonna wear the crown you can go another round 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 wish you luck but you're not bringing us down we go hard till we get it we go hard we so in it we pop stars only winning now ain't nobody bringing us down 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 you that I never would. Told you I'd change, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, need you to stay. I get drunk, wake up, I'm wasted. Still I realize the time that I wasted here. Feel like you can't feel the way I feel. Fucked up if you can't be right here. Oh, 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 oh. I'll be fucked up if you can't be right here. I do the same thing. I told you that I never would. Told you I'd change, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, need you to stay. I do the same thing. I told you that I never would. Told you I'd change, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay. When I'm away from you, I miss your touch. You're the reason I believe in love. It's been difficult for me to trust, and I'm afraid that I'ma fuck it up in a way that I can leave you stranded. 'Cause you ain't never left me empty-handed, and you know that I can't live without you. So baby, stay. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, oh. I'd be fucked up if you can't be right here. I do the same thing. I told you that I never would. Told you I'd change, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay. I do the same thing. I told you that I never would. Told you I'd change, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. Need you to stay.
KDA, should we show them how we do it every day? Kali that girl, Kali go girl, Kali gon' stop, Kali gon' skirt, Kali got a job, Kali got a word. 뜨거워 언제나 don't get burned. 넘쳐 흘러물 than a buffet, 죽여주잖아 like a buffet. 누가 감히 on my hotbed, 그 문 열지 마 that's a rock day. Don't give any more 'cause I'm better than. 필요 없는 시험들 다 뿐이미, but all of my numbers are talking back. 부르마 on message monopoly. 눈종이 돈이 나 money 필요 없대. 너네들이 만든 돈들 go get it, go get it, go get it. 더 미션 눈을 못대 못해 그래 너도 get it 'cause I got it different. All I ever know is life upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it so deep though. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it, never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, but it don't
chaser with no trouble. On that moment, baby, let's make some bubbles. Puffing on that gelato, wanna be seeing double. Gotta do what you gotta believe it. We ain't got no plans to leave it. Tell all of your friends to be here. We ain't gonna sleep all weekend. Oh, you know, that's the motto. Drop a few bills and pop a few champagne bottles. Throwing that money like you just won the lotto. We've been up all damn summer, making that bread and butter. Tell me, did I just stutter? That's the motto. Drop a few bills and pop a few champagne bottles. Throwing that money like you just won the lotto. We've been up all damn summer, making that bread and butter. Tell me, did I just stutter? That's the motto. That's the motto. After the range, can't feel my face, the windows down. Back to my place, my birthday cake is coming out. The way it's hitting, like I could go all night. Don't want no bloodshot eyes, so hold my drink, let's leave it. We ain't got no plans to leave it. Tell all of your friends to be here. We ain't gonna sleep all weekend. Oh, you know, that's the motto. Drop a few bills and pop a few champagne bottles. Throwing that money like you just won the lotto. We've been up all damn summer, making that bread and butter. Tell me, did I just stutter? That's the motto. Drop a few bills and pop a few champagne bottles. Throwing that money like you just won the lotto. We've been up all damn summer, making that bread and butter. Tell me, did I just stutter? That's the motto. That's the motto. Never meant to leave you hurting. I never meant to do the worst thing, not to you. 'Cause every time I read your message, I wish it wasn't one of your exes. Now I'm the fool. Since you've been gone, been dancing on my own. These boys up in my zone, but they can't turn me on. 'Cause baby, you're the only one I'm coming for. I can't take no more, no more, no more. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. But I like to party. But I got nobody here on my own. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. Since the day we parted. But I got nobody, so I do it so slow. Every single night I lose it. I can't even hear the music without you. Oh yeah. Try to stop myself from calling, but I really wanna know if you're with someone new. Since you've been gone, I've been dancing on my own. These boys up in my zone, but they can't turn me on. 'Cause baby, you're the only one I'm coming for. I can't take no more, no more, no more. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. But I like to party. But I got nobody here on my own. I wanna but I'm broken hearted. Since the day we parted. But I got nobody, so I do it so low. eraser. Ain't the cut just like a razor. Murked up in this world, my blazer. I got all the boys on me. I got all the lines on ring. Knocking dead, turning heads. I got all the eyes on me. Pretty face, cut out to the rock. 유행 선두자. 원하지만 못하잖아. 애가 타잖아. You like whoa, 할리 유도 go. 난 알지, I know. 준비해, cause I like the ball. 멈추지 않아. 만일래 그게 like a bag. 그거 말고 bye. 믿어봐, 그만큼 크게. 어깨 펴고 high. 100% 덤비지 못해. 죽여주잖아. 나는 boss. 간지 with the sauce. 원하면 줄게. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모든 날 따라해 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. Coming at you loud, real, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break rules and hearts and twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. Never going back, nah, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause I came to make a splash. Gonna break rules and hearts and twos, 'cause that's what the baddest do. It's crazy. Sorry for the bad news, sorry I'm so bad. Only took a minute for me to hear what you had. Sorry for the bad news, no it makes you sad. Live for a minute, baby, you should back to back. Way that I look should be breaking the law. If I don't got it, I take what I want. My circle small like a round of applause. You know that I like the sound of applause. You know I mean everything that I say. When you see me coming, get out of the way. I can this lay, back and I'm better and ready to stay. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모든 날 따라해 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. It's crazy. Sorry, not sorry for being the best. 언제든지 내가 그 neck. Look at the gold, all on my chest. Look at the gold, call it a flash.
Not enough rage.
All I know is 35, and I'm thinking, God, you found me, that you found me.
It's too far away.
Every day I go places in my head, darker thoughts so hard to know. They look like monsters under my bed. And every time's like a rocket through my chest. The TV make you think the whole world's about to end. I don't know where this night is going, but I know that you and me got something. So many things that I'm afraid of, but right now I ain't scared of nothing. 'Cause all I park car. We don't even fight no more. We don't even touch no more. Used to be my best friend. We don't even laugh no more. Barely even talk no more. You wanna hold my hand and then you won't. You say you love me, then you don't. You keep me running and running around. If I'm not all you need, then just set me free. I'm down on my knees. If you're not the one for me, then just let me be. I'm begging you, please. I'm praying for closed doors and open windows. I'm fine with the wind blows. Don't be scared to leave. If I'm not all you need, then just set me free. I'm down on my knees tonight. We used to go out on dates. Now you don't wanna go no place. Feels like we're stuck in one place. I wish I could read your mind. Instead I gotta read your eyes. Oh, how they tell me lies. You wanna hold my hand and then you won't. You say you love me, then you don't. You keep me running and running around. If I'm not all you need, then just set me free. I'm down on my knees. If you're not the one for me, then just let me be. I'm begging you, please. I'm praying for closed doors and open windows. I'm fine with the wind blows. Don't be scared to leave. If I'm not all you need, then just set me free. the strings on your tiny violin. My mind's got a mind of its own right now, and it makes me hate me. I'll explode like a dynamite if I can't decide, baby. My head and my heart are torturing me. Yeah, lost my mind in your arms. I go to extremes. Yeah, when angels tell me run, and monsters call it love. My head and my heart are caught in between. Yeah, la 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 la, la 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 la. Should I stay or should I go? You held my hand when I had nothing left to hold, and now I'm on a roll. My mind's got a mind of its own right now, and it makes me hate me. I'll explode like a dynamite if I can't decide, baby. My head and my heart are torturing me. Yeah, that's my mind in your arms. I go to extremes. Yeah, when angels tell me run, and monsters call it love. My head and my heart are caught in between. Yeah, la 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 la, la 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 la. I'm standing at the crossroads. I cross my heart with X and O's. Which way leads to forever? God only knows. My head and my heart are torturing me. Yeah, lost my mind in your arms. I go to extremes. Yeah, when angels tell me run, and monsters call it love. My head and my heart are caught in between.
Not enough.
I got breaking news, and it's not about you. I've been breaking hearts too, and I learned it all from you. I got my thighs on, feel like Wonder Woman. That's when you want me, but I'm not your woman. When my lipstick pops, and I feel like Monroe. That's when you want me most. I'm all out of sight. I'm not gonna cry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of salt. Tears are running dry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of sight. I'm all out of salt. When I'm about to celebrate, push my head into the cake no more. Feel the snake pulling my arm like my snakeskin Sailor on. I got my thighs on, feel like Wonder Woman. That's when you want me, but I'm not your woman. When my lipstick pops, and I feel like Monroe. That's when you want me most. I'm all out of sight. I'm not gonna cry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of salt. Tears are running dry. Won't give you what you want, 'cause I look way too good tonight. I'm all out of sight. I'm all out of salt. Not gonna cry. Not gonna cry. Not gonna cry.
rage.